Good evening. It's December 23rd, 2025, and today we had an up day. Here's how it looks on the daily chart. So, one thing I really like that I've learned from studying Al Brooks's course is he talks about when you're in a bull trend on the daily chart, a good idea is to look for an early sell-off because it creates these tails. And today was a perfect example of that. So, let's take a look at the 1300 tick chart. So in the overnight, we had the sell off. Uh, how many points is it? 69.36. So about a 24-point sell off, let's just call it. It retraced almost 100%, comes back down, bounces off the EMA. You actually get a great, right at the open, a great second entry long on this chart. And you can expect it to test this high, and it actually, you could see people taking profits right there, but then it blew through it. But look at the rest of the day. We go sideways just a little bit, and then it trends for the rest of the day, and that's this is the tail. So let's look at the daily chart again. We're in a bull trend past 1, 2, 3 days before today were bull bars, or at least they had bull bodies. We had this sell off, and after yesterday, I think it's pretty reasonable to expect a test of one of these two closes, the bull close up here or the bear open up here. And so that might be a bet you're looking at. So anyway, uh, let's take a look at these entries. So after you get that second entry, we do get a bull channel. And I'm not I don't think I would have this channel drawn just yet, so I don't think I would enter on a limit order here. I definitely wouldn't enter on a limit order there because you have a double top that you're going into. And yes, did this did this bear bar reverse quickly? Yeah, but it could be a double trap, it could be anything, and I'm just not willing to risk that right there. We do break higher, uh, and that actually creates a body gap above these bars over here. You can see that body gap. But other than the body gap, there isn't really a whole lot of signs of strength on this chart. You get this bull bar, another bull bar, but then you get a bear bar. This bar has a lot of stem on it, and it just looks like a channel at that point. A couple inside bars, well, really just overlap, not really inside bars. Go a little higher, pull back to the EMA. Finally, you have a break of this channel. You get this lower high, and then boom, you get a strong bear bar, lower high below the EMA. And at that point, I think going short, excuse me, going short, very reasonable here. I would argue that it's also very reasonable here. I mean, I like limit orders on these personally, um, but I think you could enter on a stop order below these bars as well. Um, and when you're betting on a range, it's always a good idea to scalp out. And this is a prime example why. You might get scared out of your trade here unless you scalp out. Let's see what's the low here. 33.75. The low here is, yeah, so that's only 2 point. That's only a 2 point move right there. And we're not sure. The bias, you could argue, is up. We made a new high. So you're going against the bias. I mean, I could understand why people would say that this isn't uh, against the bias, but anyway, we sell off to the 50% mark. You can see that here, and you can see some buying coming in. and then we sell back off to that 50% mark, and form a double bottom very clearly. And there's no, I don't think there's any way on this chart to know that we're going higher. But again, if you look at that daily chart and you want to bet that this is going to turn into a tail, I think it makes sense for you to look for a way to get long. And buying with a limit order here, it's aggressive. But if you buy with the limit order here, put your stop all the way down here. What's the risk? Let's see. 24.25. So that's an 11-point risk. So on the ES, that's $550 per contract. On the MES, that's $55 per contract. Excuse me. If you're betting that either A, you're going to attempt a new high, well, you could go for more than a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, slightly more, because you're risking 11 points. But if you buy with a limit order at 50%, you could go for, 69.40. That's 15 points. Or B, if you're betting on a trend for the rest of the day like this, that's a big move. And that's a very good risk reward ratio. So anyway, if you don't jump in down here, you do get a nice, here, I'll put a little square here. I also like this second entry long right here. This is a good entry for a swing or a scalp because I think it makes sense to make the argument that we're going to test these highs for a scalp. But also, again, if you're betting on the tail, that's a swing. So anyway, we go higher, and let's take a look at this high. So you get this overlap here. It doesn't break out above this body. Then you get this breakout, and it holds. So we break out above that body, and you get a body gap. So I'm not going to buy right here, and my channel would have been drawn differently at this point. I'd probably have it like this, something like that. So you have a break of that. So yeah, I'm not buying here just yet, but I think it's very reasonable to buy at the EMA right here. We created a body gap above here. As a matter of fact, we created a body gap above this bear bar as well. So I think it's reasonable to buy at the EMA here. You can see people bought at the EMA right here too. And there's actually a body gap created there above this high. So you can pretty much buy this thing all the way up. If you want to enter on a stop order, you can enter above this bull bar, second entry long. And it just kept going higher until the end of the day. You get a lot of congestion here at the end of the day. That's actually not even the end of the day. That's about 10:45 or so, maybe 11 o'clock when this tight stuff really starts. So that's just everyone's taking profits because they made so much money. So today is the 23rd, so no trading, not really any tomorrow, and I don't think any at all on Thursday. So Friday is when we're coming back. So this is what the week is looking like so far, the weekly chart. Right now it looks like we might be breaking out of this range. Nothing would surprise me here if we successfully break out. If we just go back to the EMA and go sideways for several months, or if we have a bear correction down to the 100-day moving average. None of that would surprise me. So I do think this will not change a whole lot on Friday, but we'll just have to wait and see. So hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back Friday.